Good morning, everybody. It's John with Lead Fever. I'm going to give you all some results for the Board Buddy resizing die test that my buddy Keith Barnes is doing down in Florida. Him and 4 or 5 of his buddies. They shoot competitively, they shoot together, they got a club down there, and they got a lot of different ammo tests that they've been doing. And I'm gonna throw some pictures up here of the test targets that he sent me, and I want to explain what's going on with each one of them. And I want to show you what kind of results that you can expect to get from using this. It's not just good for budget ammo. It works on higher grade ammo also. But the tests have just begun. This is going to be an ongoing thing, and it's going to take a while to get to the very bottom of all of it and to see just how effective it is. But I can tell you there's a difference. But there's certain ammos that gains a lot of improvement, and there are some that don't. And the ones that don't, I think it just comes down to not being good quality at all. I mean, you would have to sort through it, sort for the rim thickness, the weight, projectile shape, and all of that. And then once you get some really close weight groups with rim thicknesses and stuff that are really close, and then reprofile them to the right depth, you might get some good out of it. So it's very promising, the test that he's done so far, but he's just getting started. They've had some really bad weather down in Florida also. So he was going to be testing the last 2 days, and the weather turned off cold and windy down there, and he's not able to get out and shoot. So give me just a minute here. I'm going to roll in some pictures, and I'm going to do a voiceover on them and explain to you what you're seeing and what the resizing process was on those. So give me just a minute and we'll get this thing going, because I know a lot of you are really anxious to see if this is worth buying the Board Buddy or not. And I want to put your mind at ease that if you're going to buy it, whether or not it's an improvement that you think is worthwhile. So give me just a minute. We'll get going on this. All right, everybody, this is John, and what I got here for you is some results that come from Mr. Keith Barnes down in Florida, and then 2 or 3 of his buddies, maybe 4 of his buddies. They have been working on this resizing die test, and I appreciate that, because I've been off my feet, as most of you know. Some of you that are new don't know that I had foot surgery the 24th of November. And I'm still recovering from that. I've still got a little bit of a problem with it where it's opened up and bleeding, but it's closing up more every day. It's getting better. And the weather here is terrible. It's very windy. I'm looking out the back window now, and the trees are just blowing all over the place. I think maybe tomorrow and Friday I might get a chance to go out and do some shooting if my foot's up to it. Now, you're looking right here at one of their sheets. And what you see in the left column, the very left column, is CCI, standard velocity, okay? And up at the top you see stock right out of the box. They put some chrono numbers and stuff in there, but I'm going to tell you right now, chronograph numbers are not even important. We're looking for differences in group sizes. So this stock group up here, out of 5 shot groups, they did 25 rounds, 5 shot groups. The stock box average, and this was shot out of a Savage Mark II, was 0.767 inches, and then the resized was 0.563 inches, so that did help. Okay, now we're going to look at Randy. That was Eddie with the Savage Mark II. Now Randy is shooting TAC 22 out of a 20-inch heavy barrel Bergara B14R, okay? And stock out of the box, his group average come out to be 0.610, and resized came out to be 0.437. So that's a pretty good difference on both of them. Both of them have dropped by 2 tenths. Okay. Now, we go on to some better ammo. SK long range match, stock out of the box, 0.416 inches. Then resized, 0.353 inches. Then we go over to the far right, and that last one was out of the Bergara. You can see up here, you can stop these and look, zoom in and look at them. That was out of a Bulgara 20-inch heavy barrel also, same as the last one. But this is a different guy, different gun. Then Rusty, with his Tikka T1X, shot the SK rifle match, and his stock groups were .558, and the resized groups were .405. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. Y'all stay with me here. I'm going to try to make this as interesting and as concise as I can. And I'm hoping that you can see everything there. I'm going to have to do this on an easel with video, because in iMovie, it will not allow you to take a full-size picture and display the whole thing all at once. I don't know why they do that, because of the aspect ratio of the screen. So I'm having to do it this way. That way I can talk about it at the same time and make it make sense. So now we have a Bulgara B14R 20-inch heavy barrel in an Aerosolus chassis with a Harrell's tuner and a 2-ounce jarred trigger. So over here on the left column we have SK long range match, and the stock groups are .507. These are all 5 round groups. Then on the resized you get .375. Now we move to the next column, and it's same rifle, same shooter. And we got the SK Biathlon Sport. The stock numbers right out of the box are .421, and the resized using the Bore Buddy die is .388. And you see the chronograph numbers there, but I'm telling you right now, chronograph numbers are not that important, because sometimes you're going to drop SD in extreme spread, sometimes it's going to increase, but the group sizes are what matters. Now we move on to Lapua Center X, and I want to say Keith bought a whole case of this Lapua Center X after shooting some, and it shot good, and then he got a whole case of this lot, and it's junk. Shooting out of a gun like this, Center X shouldn't be shooting .689 group averages. He also got a whole case of Ely 10X that's doing the same thing. He bought a whole case of each one of them, and they're crap ammo. So I'm telling you folks, the ammo companies are not doing you any favors. That's why it's so important we find another way to make what we got work. They were able to tighten that up almost by 2/10. So stock it was .689, now the 25 round group average, and then with the resized it was .505. But you know, you're looking over there at SK long range match and Biathlon Sport down in the .3s. Then we move on to the final item over there on the right will be the Ely Semi-Auto Bench Rest Precision. In stock out of the box, it averaged .521, resized .368. So we can see that this resizing, just putting the flat point on it and increasing the girth of the round at the forcing bands is making a pretty good difference. All right, on this next one here, this camera I'm still getting used to. I kind of messed up there. What we have right here is Keith's Tikka T1X, and he's done the 5 shot groups here, and you can see the target. And this is with TAC 22, and the top row is straight out of the box, and then he reprofiled it, but this is before they figured out how much of a flat point to put on it. It was actually still better on the bottom, but not what you would think. It was .813 on the top group straight out of the box. Then down on the bottom, you got a .601, so it's a .212 better than what it was, but that's still not phenomenal. Now, some of the groups look decent in the .4s, but let's go on from here. Now I'm going to have to resize our camera here if I can get this off and go to the next one. Hard to do this with one hand. All these stacks of paper. All right. Now, let me back out where we can see it good. All right. Now, what we have right here, let me straighten this up just a little. what we got right here, we've got Randy with his Bulgara B14R 20-inch heavy barrel, and this is the TAC 22. Okay, now this has come out of a different gun. What we just showed you, Keith told me his T1X doesn't like TAC 22 no matter what you do to it. Okay, so this top group is factory out of the box. Okay, and we got an average of 0.718. Then they reformed it to 0.960 overall length, case overall length of 0.960, and now this is what has been found to be the best case overall length, because the shorter case overall length you get, the flatter the nose profile is. You don't want a real flat, wide nose profile. You just want like a 0.125 inch diameter flat nose on the end of it. So he went from a 0.718 to a 0.444. And then when they went on down to an overall case length of 948, it went back up some to a 646, still better than straight out of the box. Then they went all the way down to an overall length of 0.938, and it was a 0.587 or a 537. I can't really read that. So we can see that reprofiling it helped, and the overall case length of 0.960 did a really good job of dropping it from 0.718 inches, and this is just factory stock TAC 22 out of the box, and nothing else done to it, down to a 0.444. Let's move on from there. So, and I'm trying not to make this too long, but I want y'all to see what's going on here. Now, let's take a look at this Federal Auto Match. Let's get that straightened up just a little bit. Okay, Federal Auto Match, factory, without doing anything to it, 0.745. And then reform, 0.699. Not a huge difference, but it's a difference. Now, if you look over here, this great big flyer right there, and that reform group really messed that up, or it would have been much better. If you look at the groups, the reformed is significantly tighter than the unformed, or the factory out of the box. So what I'm saying here, this group got kind of squirrely. What I'm saying here is there's a couple more steps that can be done, weight sorting to be one of them, and now we're going to talk about the second one, which we've talked about many times. Keith has a buddy that he shoots with that has a mutual friend that was a pistol competitive shooter for many, many, many years, and he reloaded all of his own ammo. He even cast his own bullets, and he formulated this lube, Best Lube, over a period of many, many years. He has since retired, but he gave the formula to Keith and his other friend, and they make it. He has shipped me a tube of this stuff, and he knows the formula. He can make it anytime he wants. I'm talking to him about maybe if, he wants to make it and sell it, if people want to buy it. It seems to work. We have other forms of lube we can use, and we will work on that and see what winds up being the best one. So here's where we're going with this. We're getting back to the TAC 22 because it seems to respond to this very, very well. So let me get the camera perfectly lined up here with what we're looking at. Try to get the angles and everything right. It's hard to do off of this easel and not being able to make things exactly right, but that makes it a little straighter. This is with his Tikka T1X, which doesn't like the TAC 22, and that's why he did it this way. So, the very top line, you can see the 5 round groups there, and over here is your column that gives your group averages. Straight out of the box, he got 0.617 inch groups. Then reformed to a case length of 0.940 overall. He had an average of 0.600, dropped down just a hair. Then he goes to a case overall length of 940 and lubes it with the Best Lube. And he dropped down to .551 for the total average. Then he goes to what he knows is the best overall length of .960 and lubes it with the best lube, and it drops down to a .345. And you can look at these groups and you can see that these are significantly better than what was up here on the top. Same lot of ammo coming out of the same brick of ammo. So we're getting somewhere. With the reformation of the bullet and putting the flat tip on it at an overall case length of .960, removing the original lube from it before you form it, and then putting the best lube on it or another lube of your choice that you know does good, it's making this ammo a whole lot better ammo. Now we're going to do it with the Federal automats, we're going to do it with the CCI standard velocity, but what we're doing here with the TAC-22, the TAC-22 has a better bullet profile for making the flat point on. CCI standard velocity does not. It's too slender at the end. It's not a really good shaped bullet. A lot of people love it and shoot a whole lot of it, but if we're looking to get an ammo that we can get really tight groups with and maybe even shoot competitively with, then this is one of them to look at. And we have many more to do. I've got several different ammos resized to the correct case length of .960, and I'm going to shoot those first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like we're doing here. I'm going to show you the results of the targets without making you watch the shooting footage. I know everybody's seen me shoot before. You don't need to see me sitting there shooting these. I will show you the results of the targets, and then when we find what we think is the best ammo to reform, that's a more budget-oriented ammo, and we're hoping that the Federal automats are doing some sorting with it and re-lube after it, or not re-lube, it's not lubed anyway, that we can come up with a cheap way for people to shoot by using this Bore Buddy die, doing a little bit of weight sorting, maybe even a little rim thickness checking, and applying some lube to it. And Keith does 100 of them about every 15 minutes. Wipes the old lube off, checks them, resizes them, lubes them, and ready to go. Once you get it down pat, it's not that hard. So I'm going to leave you with that today, and I hope that this piques the interest in many of you, and I hope this satisfies many of you's been saying, hey, you know, we want to see some results. Well, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, people, that I haven't been able to get out there and do it. It's just something that I have not been able to do. I'm getting better every day. The weather seems to be getting a break here in a couple of days. Maybe I'll get out there and get some of this done myself. But Keith and his friends are going to continue doing this testing with me and report their results to me so I can hand them off to you all. Because we want you all to know what you're getting into if you get one of these resizing dies and what you can do with it. And there'll be many more videos to come showing you how to do it, the procedures and the processes, so that we can hand this off to you all and hopefully let everybody have a cheaper way to shoot and continue shooting, because the ammo has just gone crazy high in price and the quality is almost non-existent anymore. So this is Lead Fever. This is what I got for you today. God bless all of you. I hope this is helpful to you all, and may God bless you and keep you, and we are out.